Hello and welcome everybody to the Zero Torque Racing League at Talladega Super Speedway. Tonight we have a 70-lap main event for you tonight, and we're currently in qualifying, ready to set the field for the night's race. We'll have a stage break tonight at lap 50, so we will, actually maybe it's an 80-lap race. I believe it's 80 or 70, I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. As we watch Frank Chavez, the number 13 Chevrolet, round the racetrack. See him go. 2, 3, and 4. Oh, paint scheme is not loaded in quite yet for Frank Chavez. Or for Aaron Long. Okay, so everyone has no paint schemes loaded right now. Looking a little goofy, but it's okay. No harm, no foul, right? As Joshua Siegfried's rounds corner number 2, building up all the speed he can to try and set the pace here at Dega. Chavez on the bottom. So there's two ways to qualify here at Dega. You can either go to the bottom of the first lap, hope that the cold tires hold up in qualifying and the speed stays, or you can build momentum the first lap. Ride the top in 1 and 2, ride the top in 3 and 4, arc it down in the tri-oval to try to carry as much speed as possible, and then wrap the bottom on your second flying lap. It's all up to you, and it's all up to the driver and how the car's driving to figure out how to set yourself up for the best possible lap time here at Talladega. And with it being a fixed setup series, you know, it's going to be very, very tight on the scoring loop. Samuel Longworth so far is the pole sitter. 3 cars have lapped the time, and I'm guessing Joshua Siegfried, he's one of those cars we're going to make the second lap his flying lap, not the first lap. So you're going to see some different strategies here in qualifying. Blake Hewlett to the top of the charts, just barely beats out Longworth. Briggs has slotted in third, but Joshua Siegfried is going to be the car to watch here at this moment. Siegfried rounds corner number 4. What can he set here? Lorway goes 6th ahead of him. Longworth, Aaron Longworth, haven't seen him in a minute, but good to see the 42 car back out there on the racetrack. Ted Gable Jr. goes 2nd. What can Joshua Siegfried do here at Talladega? Joshua Siegfried. Oh, he does not improve. Siegfried does not improve. Shocking. Here is Drew Kuhn, an all-white Toyota Camry. Here's Austin Norris and his number 57 iRacing machine. Carson Youngblood on the racetrack, his 16 Chevrolet. Dustin Rogerson. Ron Millam. A lot of guys' paint schemes aren't loading in. This is their bases. Mark Kazin has gone to the top of the charts. Ron Millam, a lot of speed in this 47, just unlucky as much as he can possibly be in so many incidents, not of his own doing. Seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. The speed is there for this 47 car. Can this be the week that this car puts it up in victory lane or has an amazing run? The 01 of Chris Gaskell. He will go 2P6 on the scoring sheet there. That's a good qualifying run so far for him. Puts him in the top 10 currently as Carson Youngblood has slotted in 5th. That's your points leader, ladies and gentlemen. Coming off the win at Darlington, holding off a charging Eric Johnson. Contact coming to the finish line. Spun Eric Johnson out with 1 to go. Or Johnson spun off the contact. Kuhn goes 7th, but Carson Youngblood was the winner last weekend at Darlington. Now he's going to round turn 4, trying to set the pace here at Talladega Super Speedway. Trying to dethrone Mark Kazin from his pole time. Ron Millam goes 15th quick. Not a great first lap for Ron. This is what you're going to see from a lot of the guys going for pole. They're wrapping the bottom apron there to try to get every 10th of a second they can. Youngblood does not improve the second lap. So like I said, sometimes the track and the car just really likes the first lap if the tires are okay with it. So right now it seems like the first lap's your money lap. It's not the second lap. That's why Joshua Siegfried is well off the pace in 17th currently. Looking for cars on the racetrack. I believe Robert Tester has made his lap. And Robert's immediately done. So Robert Tester only 15th quickest. And a good amount of other cars not qualifying yet. So waiting to see when they all do qualify. Chris Gascoigne coming down pit road in his 01 car. Ford Mustang Holly race machine. Down running pit side right now. Gascoigne will pull it to his pit stall. Oh, we have cars on the racetrack. Stephen Blevins in the 52. An all black race car. Ooh, he's spinning her out off of corner number 2. Oh, hard into the wall. No problem, you can just reset. Jason Steptoe on the racetrack, the number 50 Chevrolet. Not sure why the schemes aren't loading. That's unfortunate to not see a lot of the paint schemes out here from these guys. I know they're really proud of their paint schemes, so sorry everyone if you had a cool paint scheme this week. I'm not sure why it's not loading here with Trading Paints. As here comes the number 50 of Jason Steptoe. Almost won the season opener at Daytona. How can he start this race? The number 50 Chevrolet getting up to speed. Through turns 1 and 2 at the moment. Wrapping the bottom paint as good as you can. Not putting any wheel in it as little as you can. Oh, there's the car. Maybe it's actually loading the paint scheme. Down the back straightaway, though, goes Jason Steptoe, wrapping the paint still down the back stretch. There's a few different ways you can do it around here. There's a lot of different ways here in qualifying, but as little scrub on the tires as possible every millisecond. Oh, and there we go. What a beautiful paint scheme from Jason Steptoe. The number 50 Red Bull machine looks mighty clean on the racetrack. It looks like finally Trading Paints and iRacing are cooperating. Oh, and the 50 will dip to the inside to use the apron to try and get all he can. What can Jason Steptoe do here? Can he put it on pole? No, just barely misses out. P2 for Jason Steptoe. What a lap. 5 more cars have not qualified. Both Dave and David Sharon, Terry Litwiller, Eric Johnson, and Stephen Blevins. We saw Stephen try to get on the racetrack and then crash his Ford Mustang, trying to get up to speed off of pit road. An easy mistake here, honestly. Jason Steptoe is still on the racetrack, but as we've seen most tonight, the second lap just does not seem to have the same pace, but maybe Jason Steptoe can rewrite history here and how it's gone so far in qualifying and snatch the pull away from Mark Kazan's 79 Toyota. Never mind. He's coming down pit side. Should be qualifying wrapped up here pretty soon. Very long qualifying here. He'll pull it to his pit stall, or no pit stall actually. That's no one's pit stall. As no cars are on the racetrack. At least that I see. No cars are on the racetrack. I believe qualifying wraps up here in 40 seconds if everyone doesn't put their time in. Oh, I think we have a car on track. Stephen Blevins. Can he set a time, though? I don't know if he has enough time to set a race time. In the Umbrella Resident Evil Capcom Ford Mustang. What a sharp-looking car. I love the Umbrella whole organization. It's a really cool thing from Resident Evil. And what a sharp race car that 52 is brought tonight. Looking good out there on the racetrack, that Resident Evil Ford Mustang. Can't really see who's on the door there. It's very hard to see. A lot of red. Is it a liquor? One of the liquors that like are on the walls? I'm not quite sure. It's hard to see. And qualifying is over. So Stephen Blevins showed his paint scheme off, and he won't be able to set a lap. So here is your pole sitter. It's Mark Kazan, Jason Steptoe, Blake Hewlett, Ted Campbell Jr. Those are your first 2 rows. Samuel Longworth will end out the top 5 in row number 3. Carson Youngblood to his outside. Then we have Chris Gaskell in his 01 Ford Mustang. Drew Kuhn in 8th. 9th is Aaron Longworth. And then the final 10th place position in the final spot in the top 10, that's Austin Norris. 11th is Wesley Briggs in his 81 machine. Then we see Frank Chavez in the number 13 Monster Energy Chevrolet. Daniel Jackson in the 51 Toyota. He slots in 13th. Jeff Lorway in the 71. He slots in 14th. Dustin Rogerson in 15th in his 23 Zero-X machine. And we have the 22 Robert Tester in another Penske-esque paint scheme, looking like a Austin Cindric scheme this week. Craig Bridge Jr., number 3 machines, back out on the racetrack. He'll slot in 17th tonight. Ron Millam in 18th in the final car to set a qualifying lap. Joshua Siegfried in 19th. Eric Johnson will start 20th. David P. Sharon 21st. Stephen Blevins 22nd. 23rd will be Terry Litwiller. And the final car on the grid tonight, Dave Sharon, the 4 Rush Ford Mustang. That is your grid tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited to see tonight's race and see the action. Oh, a beautiful car. A lot of great cars tonight. Happy that they finally loaded it. Oh, there we go. We have the me car. The car from Talladega Nights, but it looks a little different. It looks like a dog on the hood. What in the world? What is that? It's just a dog. Oh my. I mean, you gotta respect the schemes here. In the Zero Torque Racing League, none of these guys hold back one bit. Ron Millam with a Home Depot. That one is very cool. I like the Home Depot schemes. They are very cool schemes. But Mark Kazin's GCN Toyota Camry has the pole and starts on the front row tonight for this evening's race. He'll roll off the grid, step toe on his outside. As all the cars roll here on the racetrack, let's look at our series sponsors in the Zero Torque Racing League. Luminary Concepts. Tom's Tasty Taters and Walleye Fish Sandwiches. Bald Eagle Station on YouTube. Premium car content. 2430 Esports. Go check their Instagram and Facebook. And you'll see these same sponsors taking on your bottom right of your screen before we go green flag racing here. So, we saw in the Daytona race and Atlanta, we saw the Zero-X Racing guys really dominate. Robert Tester, Rogerson, all those guys were up front all day, dominated the race, and dominated qualifying. Well, they didn't dominate the qualifying today. None of them in the top 4. Youngblood the highest in 5th. So Mark Kazin, Jason Steptoe, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Mark Kazin and Jason Steptoe are going to have to work overtime tonight. And keeping this all set, all those cars behind them, don't want to let them take control of the race, because you saw what happened in that race in the spring at Daytona. Robert Tester ended up winning it, but Carson Youngblood did indeed. The pace car is going to come off. Mark Kazin and Steptoe, Blake Hewlett, Ted Gamble Jr., or any other of the 24 cars in the field, who is going to get the checkered flag tonight? Into the Geico restart zone.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. Oh, the 7 dips low. That could be a penalty. You cannot pass before the start-finish line. Samuel Longworth. Oh, no. And the Red Bull number 7. Just so early in the race, though, for that mistake. At least that's when you want to have these mistakes. But Jason Steptoe on the outside lane. He will take the race lead down the back straightaway. Inside lane not formed up on the restart. Clear inside is all the top 3 on the top lane. Oh, not quite for Carson Youngblood. Ted Gamble Jr. will drop to the bottom, and so will Jason Steptoe to assume the race lead. A lot of sparks bottoming out off of corner number 4 there. And there you go. There's the drive-through for the number 7. Oh, that might be speeding on pit road, and it might have made it worse right there. As we look back up to the front half of the field, and looky here. Is that Aaron Longworth in the lead? Oh, it's Carson Youngblood. The scoring timing is all off right now on my screen. Carson Youngblood, your race leader right now. Down the back straightaway. What is going on? Scoring pylon's a little messed up. Carson Youngblood is your race leader. I'm not sure what's happening with the scoring pylon. Right there. Youngblood is the race leader. Then you have, I believe that is the 12 of Drew Kuhn right there. 3 wide almost down the front straightaway. Whoa, a late block from Kuhn. Drew Kuhn now your race leader. You look back, Youngblood and Aaron Longworth. Longworth was really good in the duel earlier this year. Now Paul Buchanan did win the duel, as there comes the number 50 of Jason Steptoe. He'll peek outside to go with the fellow Red Bull car. Not sure they're working together, but here comes Ted Gamble Jr. He'll work with the Red Bull car like he did earlier in the race. The runs aren't as big as they used to be here in iRacing before. A few updates ago, they made the Super Speedway racing a lot more realistic. It's a lot harder and a lot more skill-wise, I guess you could say, on building a run. It takes a lot more time. It doesn't just get massive runs down the straights as they used to. Outside lane, got to the second car, couldn't get going. There needs to be more pushing from the outside lane if you want to bring that car and that whole lane forward. He'll be side by side with the 16 of Youngblood, but Drew Kuhn setting the face around this racetrack right now. See Mark Kazan in the 3rd spot there. Keeps Blake making the scoring pylon think he's not in existence, but he's having a solid start to the season. Mark has looked so good all year long. That 79 could win another one. Blake Hewlett. There is a win and you're in, and Blake Hewlett would love the win and you're in right now. This could be some drivers' make or break race to make the playoffs this season. They don't know if they'll find victory lane at more difficult racetracks, but here at Talladega, anyone can win. And right now, you're seeing it. Drew Kuhn leading the field, Youngblood and Kazan. Blake Hewlett 4th. Chris Gaskell in 5th. What a run from him is, whoa, Mark Kazan tips off the racetrack. Not sure what happened there, if he got loose, a bad bump or what, but now he will go all the way to the back. Or he just maybe didn't like the smell up there of the leaders, kind of like you see Denny Hamlin do in the Cup Series a lot. You see him not like how they're racing, and they kind of bails, but they're all single file, so I'm not too sure what maybe he's sensing, or maybe he just got a big loose moment. Didn't want to end up wrecking so early on. Look at the blimp view, very single file out. Takes a long time till we see some drivers actually trying to make moves. See Robert Tester side by side back there, some other race cars. See, I think those are the Red Bull machines of Steptoe and Aaron Longworth. Drew Kuhn continues to pace the field. So it's a very long race, but we will have to see green flag pit stops before we get to the lap 50 stage break. So if we don't have an incident before the lap 50 stage break, when we get that yellow, we will have green flag pit cycle. I believe they will be able to go 30-something laps on their fuel tanks tonight. Some great, early here in the racing here at Super Speedways, everyone's just kind of going to be calm, as you should be. You see the 2 Red Bull cars have gotten back to the bottom. We're seeing Ted Gamble Jr., Austin Norris, the 71 on the outside, trying to make it go forward. Just nothing doing for those guys. There is Aaron Longworth. Going another lap down on the speedway. Unfortunate there for him on the racetrack. Whoa, they're really stacking it up there with Frank Chavez. Everyone's stacked up there, not sure what happened, but Siegfried gets shuffled out of line. Joshua Siegfried out of the line, and he will go to the back of the pack. I'm not sure if that was a block gone wrong or what. We saw it there, and they're about to be 3 wide off of corner number 2. Siegfried continuing to drop back. Even the guys on the outside aren't going with him. Let's look at the run the 45 and the 71 have down the back straightaway. Those guys are trying to get to the front as the rest of the field may be fuel saving. They're going to try and get their track position now instead of later in the race when it's a little harder to get that track position. Whoa, number 51 about got turned there, Jackson. Look at Blake Hewlett. He's peeking outside. Does he go up top with him? No, it's too late. Doesn't matter. They're already there. They're coming to the front. Here goes Drew Kuhn to put a block on. Oh, a big block on the 71. That's 2 movements, but it did stall the 71 of Jeff Lorway. Now here comes Ted Gamble Jr. to the outside of Drew Kuhn. Kuhn gets in front of the 71, but Ted Gamble Jr. in the 45 will take the lead now at Talladega down the backstretch. And Joshua Siegfried, who just went to the back 3 or a few laps ago, is now back to second place. That's how quickly things change at Talladega. And Stephen Blevins, where did the 52 come from? Up inside the top 3. What a drive through the field for him as well. Now does Blevins go with Siegfried or does he go with Gamble? We're about to see here as these top 4 starting to put a gap now on what is 5th is now Robert Tester, the 22 coming to the front. Austin Norris looking bottom on Robert Tester, nothing doing there. And Stephen Blevins chose the safe option with the 45. As that was an official lap lead for the 45 right there. The 22 looking outside, trying to help a teammate out. Won't have it, no momentum on the top. He'll have to slot back into the bottom in 4th place. He went to the back a minute ago and got back to the front rather quickly, so I'm not too sure he should be worried. We almost saw some incidents there for sure. The big block and then the stacker that caught Siegfried to go to the back in the first place. Saw almost 2 crashes in the last few laps, so maybe everyone's going to go back to running single file, but running single file in a patient manner. Jeff Lorway side by side with Drew Kuhn. Drew Kuhn was leading this race just 3 laps ago, and now he's back in 10th, battling for 9th. As Jeff Lorway clears him down in corners number 1 and 2, and he'll continue to pull away as they're side by side behind him. Austin Norris in the top 5. Look at this Toyota. A lot of bad luck for the 57 this year. I think a much better speed than the finishes would show. Some tough luck for him. And what a patriotic paint scheme in the We the People 57 Toyota Camry. There's the 71 all by his lonesome yet again, trying to go to the front. A lot of patriotism out here. Look at Ted Gamble Jr. though. Or not Ted Gamble, Craig Bridge Jr. 2 juniors got mixed up, but no problem. They're going to go to the front together. Shake and bake time. The 2 teammates on the outside. Team Bridge trying to work it. I believe they're teammates. Trying to work their way to the front. And trying to get up there with Blevins and Gamble. We saw the block Drew Kuhn put on the field. Will the 45 do the same thing as he's taking control of this race? Does he want to give it up? It's not the worst thing, though, for the 45 to get past. I mean, he can fall back in line 2 cars back, and now he'll save more gas that way. So, honestly, it's not a big deal. Obviously, it feels good being up front at Talladega in front of the whole hungry pack of cars behind, but it's also, you got to think, this is a long race. We're only now 12 laps into it. About to be 13th once we complete this one. You know, you got to think long-term here. As little fuel in the car as possible. Whoa, that almost looked like the 71 was going to get turned off the front bumper of the 3. He got really loosey-goosey in the turn, and he's still loose on the back straightaway. They're going straight, and now they're losing time. See, if you have a bad push too much, you can lose time on the racetrack. It actually kills momentum of both race cars. Now he'll get a good push. It's actually square to the bumper. Yeah, it wasn't square again, so it's going to kill the momentum. Almost make the 71 spin out. Not able to push very well are these cars. Blake Hewlett. What happened to Blake Hewlett on that whole cycle through the field? He was up there in the top 3 with Kuhn and the other drivers up there, and he's dropped after they all got kerfuffled out with the 52 and the 45. Trying to go back to the front with those two team bridge cars. Longworth to the inside, though. Oh, Aaron Longworth is now gone. Jason stepped right in front of them, coming through the field again. Austin Norris, he'll peek outside, so they have more help. The 57, that's a car in the top 5. He'll peek outside, but man, he should have waited a little longer. He might stack the lane up. It's not too bad. They'll catch him at a good time, and if they give a good push, they could really get to the front now. But Robert Tester looking inside, looking to just get a free spot out of it all. As you see in the 3rd place spot, Wesley Briggs looking outside there. He thought about it, but now he saw the 22 of Robert Tester. He thought maybe a little better about it. If you want to see a car to judge off tonight, Robert Tester might be that guy. He's a very good super speedway racer. Kind of like the Penske cars in real life. He just knows how to lead laps here at Talladega and all this plate tracks. Whoa, Wesley Briggs trying to hug it. That's Carson Youngblood trying to blend into traffic. Youngblood showing on the scoring pylon 3 laps down. I'm not sure as to why. As we have a battle for the race lead. Austin Norris to the outside of the 45 of Gamble. Trying to look for the race lead. What happened to Robert Tester? We were just looking at him. Now he's further back in the top 10. This outside lane is boogieing. And Austin Norris leads the lap. That time by the 57 out front. He'll duck to the bottom and take the race lead. So now this top lane has to continue. They got to the front with the 57. Now they need to stay up front with their other race cars and other helpers that got them there. Even that car in the 51 back there, all the way at the back, all those cars help build momentum. You want to keep it up, and now look at that. The bottom lane charging ahead. From what I'm seeing, the 71 or the 3, one of them just can't take a push or give a push, and it's really struggling to get this lane moving. You see cars maybe pitting here? They're pulling off under the yellow line there. Not sure what was going on. But this outside lane, without Austin Norris leading it, is falling back. Very weird, because it seemed like the 71 beforehand, when he wasn't with the 3, when he was with the 45, got to the front, so maybe the 3 car isn't able to push as good as he might like, as he is looking very squirrely behind the 71's race car. Just don't think he's comfortable, maybe in the draft right now, pushing the 71. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about the cough, ladies and gentlemen, and the sometimes cracky voice. I've had a little sickness or allergies going on lately. You see all that dogwood flying around. I mean, it is bad right around here in Indiana. So the throat does not feel the greatest. Trying to power through that tonight and give you all a somewhat competent broadcast as I try to get better and better at this each and every week. As we look, we're 18 laps into this run. The race is flying on by. We're almost a quarter of the way done. We have not seen the caution flag fly yet. Let's hope it stays that way as I just say that. Looking through the field, Ron Millham. That 47 car hasn't seen his way to the front quite yet. Neither is Dustin Rogerson, Eric Johnson, some other names further back. Not sure what happened to Carson Youngblood. I don't know why it's saying the 21's out. Don't mind that. It is not. It's scoring pylon sometimes. Austin Norris, Ted Gamble Jr., Stephen Blevins, Wesley Briggs on the racetrack. Number 81 machine down the back straightaway, running in the 4th spot, having a good run tonight. Jeff Lorway trying to make the top lane work. Can't seem to get it going right now. I think there needs to be something shaken up because they're just kind of stalled here in the 6th, 5th, 7th position. Seems like this lane just can't go any more forward for whatever reason. Austin Norris took advantage of that outside lane, though, as he continues to lead this race. In the 57 We the People Toyota Camry out on the racetrack. And Ted Gamble Jr. These two cars, I think Ted Gamble Jr. might be the early favorite so far. I know it's been really early. We're only 19 laps complete, but we've seen this 45 car qualify. Well, he qualified inside the top 5. And not only that, he also came back through the field after losing that track position early. So this car can push, it can run up front, it can do all of the above. So far, the 45 looks pretty stout. And there goes Robert Tester to the outside. Now, does anyone go with the 22? This is a double-edged sword, right? You want to go with him because you know he's good. But you also don't want to go with him because you know he's good and you don't want him to control the race. The 71 doesn't want to help him. He's going to go to the outside, or thought about it. Just had to stall as the momentum stalled. He had to bail out of that right there. You see Frank Chavez behind him. Oh my, a lot of blinkage there out of Aaron Longworth. Better router, never hurts. There's Robert Tester now leading this outside lane, trying to make it go forward as he's side by side with the car he was right ahead of Jason Steptoe before he pulled up to the outside lane off of 4 last time by. So he'll be side by side now with the 4th place car of Wesley Briggs, and now the 3rd place car of Stephen Blevins. So the top lane's starting to form up. Does the 45 go up there? Oh, he keeps peeking, won't get there in time. The 45 needs to give a good shove to the 57 if he wants to keep this bottom lane in the race lead, but I don't think he's going to. This top lane might stall out here off exit. Not a lot of help off back of the 71, but neither does the 45. Looks like a bit more organized on the bottom. Not quite clear for Robert Tester. Oh, now he is clear. All clear down the back stretch. And there goes the 71 to the inside. Got a block thrown by Robert Tester. Frank Chavez up into the mix in 3rd. Now he'll look to the outside of 2nd place in the 71. Look at the Jeff Lorway. He looks to the inside of Tester off of corner number 4. Tester has to play defense. This might be the first laps all night. Robert Tester's leading. You're seeing him right now. Frank Chavez will lead this one, though. To the front, the 13. Blake Hewlett trying to squeeze in on the bottom. He was clear. Thought better of it. But he'll get down into turns 1 and 2 in front of the 22. Now Chris Gaskell on the outside. Now look at those guys of Gamble and Austin Norris. They're falling further back as the top lane starts to deravel. As here comes the 79 of Mark Kazin. This could cause chaos. He's all the way in the top lane, but it still gets really, really tight. When you're 3 wide, 4 wide's a little worse. Here, 3 wide is manageable as long as everyone holds their lane. But look at Stephen Blevins. 13th now. Really has fallen back. Frank Chavez, your race leader. Blake Hewlett in 2nd. Robert Tester in 3rd. Look at Daniel Jackson in the 16. Right there of Carson Youngblood, excuse me, who is multiple laps down. They're stacking up on the top behind this 51 of Daniel Jackson. Big run off the exit, though, does the 51. He'll get side by side with Lorway. Now he'll get to the quarter panel of the 22. This lane continues to go forward. Frank Chavez, your race leader, but will he throw the block on the 51 and try and hold on to the race lead? We're close to pit cycle here in 10-15 laps, so track position now is key. We're halfway through this stage and just 2 more laps, so it's starting to get a bit more racy on the racetrack as Daniel Jackson to the race lead. Another lead change and another leader. To the bottom he'll go. The 16's not quite clear. Carson Youngblood trying to get one of his laps back. And he'll get one right there. Oh, a big stack up on the bottom right here. Whoa, as Chris Gaskell's going to get put 3 wide. Oh, and Austin Norris kind of cut him a break. Drew Coons, your race leader. Carson Youngblood right ahead of him. He's right there trying to stay ahead of him to keep one of his laps. Daniel Jackson right now in third. Aaron Longworth back up inside the top 3. Wesley Briggs continues to run up front. That's one of the best things when you're just constantly in the top 6, top 5. That's one of the best feelings out here. When you see other guys who are just up there with you a few laps ago, you get shuffled back. You continue to strive and stay up there in the mix, even with different players. Blake Hewlett in 7th. Jason Steptoe in 8th. 9th is Ted Gamble Jr. Or 8th is Ted Gamble Jr. Excuse me. He has led a few laps tonight. He's looked very stout. Ron Millam has entered the top 10. Robert Tester in 9th. He kind of lost some track position with the jockeying that happened right there. Everyone's kind of calmed down, and the Drew Coon, the man who led early, is back out front. We see pit stops. Frank Chavez down pit road. Blake Hewlett, Craig Bridge Jr., Jeff Lorway. A lot of cars. No mistakes from these drivers are needed. Chavez will not overshoot the pit box. Just fuel, no tires, no one. Don't be taking tires. Oh, Jeff Lorway didn't get them out. He's taking tires. There goes the 3 of Craig Bridge Jr. He will come off pit road. Will Frank Chavez follow him soon? He's been down pit road a minute here. He'll pull off as well. See Drew Coon coming off the corner exit right here. He'll have Carson Youngblood pit with him. Aaron Longworth. Whoa, Aaron Longworth's going to be speeding down pit road. Did he get a road down? Going to be tight right there. He was smoking him coming down pit side. Good thing there's not flat spots in iRacing, because that a lot of cars down pit road. Oh my. We have a busy pit road. And a busy pit road means problems. Stephen Blevins gets caught out. All these cars, this needs to be assured. We cannot have cars running the middle lane when they're trying to get to their pit stall. You need to stay to the right side of the racetrack. So all those guys, there needs to be something talked about that. We can't have that. That spells disaster now for the 52. So, yeah, you got to stay on the right side of the racetrack, everyone. Down pit road, because that causes issues like that, and it can cause people getting mad. So we have to fix that. As the 12 car about spins off of exit. That Pinnacle Wraps number 12 looking good out there. So it looks like Aaron Longworth will avoid a penalty. Trying to see these cars up to speed already. There is the 2 Sharons. They were up there. Oh my. Blake Hewlett leading the pack of cars that have up to speed already. Catching Wesley Briggs and the other drivers. That's the second 3-car pack of Steptoe, Gamble, and Briggs, excuse me. Blake Hewlett, Craig Bridge Jr. already up to speed, though. They are going to gain on them. They are way more organized. They have lost the 2 Sharons of David and Dave. The 21 and the 4. They are not up there with them. The 79 is up there. He is a lap down. Drew Coon, Aaron Longworth, Daniel Jackson. They're about to lose Daniel Jackson. Whoa! Big push off the 45's rear bumper. Jason Steptoe about spun the 45 off of corner exit. See Wesley Briggs there as well. Blake Hewlett. Austin Norris down back pit road. What happened? Oh no. Unfortunate. What happened to Austin Norris? Don't see anything on the ticker. As here comes the 42 looking for the race lead. I'm not sure why. This is going to really hold these 3 cars up. They are going to get ran down fast by Ted Gamble Jr.'s group of race cars. And they're going to be going so slow. If they pull a block on, there's going to be a big ol' wreck. They're 3 seconds up the road. Look at that. 1, 2 tenths bleeding just in a few seconds right there. The number 16 Chevrolet right on the bottom lane. Drew Kuhn's going to push him to try and keep the race lead. If these 4 cars, excuse me, stay like this is going to be really spicy once the 45, the 50, the 81 catch these guys. Not sure why the 42 dipped out of line there to try and take the race lead. And ended up not clearing him anyways for it. As the 50 car, he'll get shuffled out of line. Jason Steptoe. Wesley Briggs somehow got under him, and now Jason Steptoe might be going to the back of this line. Ooh, there was a lane there. Excuse me. Drew Kuhn leading down the back straightaway. This top 4 group is really tight together now. But they killed a lot of momentum in time after that. And once they get to the 1.5, 1.4 second range, they're going to get much bigger drafts than they're getting now from that 4-car pack of these guys back here. So it's a matter of time till they get caught. It's at the rate they get caught and how fast they're going to get ran down and passed once they do get caught. The 2 Toyotas leading this race, a Chevrolet, a Ford, and a Chevrolet. That's your top 5. All 3 makes are in it, but 2 of the others are a bit more in it than the Fords are, who are kind of the odd man out at the moment. But the Toyotas leading this race of Kuhn and Jackson. You're starting to see him in that 1.4 second range. They're going to catch him here in the next few laps. Carson Youngblood is helping him out here with having an extra car. That definitely does help. Man, the fighting they did cost them so much time. And there's Ted Gamble Jr. What a good pit cycle for the 45. He was not up in the top 5. Neither was the 51. Oh, the 51 was actually. Yeah, he was. I believe the 51 was a pretty solid car right there. And Jeff Lorway took 4 tires, so I believe he is well off the pace of any pack at the moment. Don't mind the scoring pylon, everyone. The pylon is kind of weird sometimes at the back of the pack. And here comes the 45, starting to reel him in. It's starting to slow down, though. The bleeding of time is kind of stalled out this last lap. They've gained. They're still gaining, but not at the rate they were. These guys have finally got their momentum built back up. And they're able to, if they did this from the get-go, they might have just not had them catch them. Or at least catch them as early as they will compared to when they would have. They're starting to get kind of spread out again, though, the top 4, and that will bring the 45 in a lot more. Yep, look at the timing sheets now. It was a 4/10, just half a lap to go that they lost. Now they're within a second. Big run coming from the 45. Will anyone in the top 3 here or the lap car pull a block on the oncoming traffic? Kind of Ross Chastain like he did in the Spring Racing Cup. Here comes the big run for the 45 of Ted Gamble. To the outside. Wesley Briggs doesn't go with him. Blake Hewlett will. Chris Gaskell will. The 42 jumps up high. And the top is just getting eaten up right now. Oh, here comes a big run, though, from the top. A lot of momentum now. Well, do we see Kuhn pull a block on him like we saw early in the race? Now the bottom's formed up real good. Carson Youngblood doing all he can to try and hang on to the lap and just keep as few laps down as he possibly can tonight. They're getting racy right now. 15 to go this time by for the stage break. Watching Daniel Jackson and Drew Kuhn continue to lead this field. Here comes Aaron Longworth on the outside. He'll be side by side with the 51. Now side by side with Drew Kuhn and Carson Youngblood. To the race lead. Aaron Longworth. And Youngblood's not for position. They're just putting him another lap down. So here comes the 42 clear down the backstretch. Aaron Longworth has taken the lead. Ted Gamble Jr. now in second. And Ted's a bubble driver, so a good stage points finish could be huge for him. You see him starting to get all... Oh, there goes Aaron. Can't be scaring us like that. Blake Hewlett, the first car on the outside right now. In this 6th spot. That lane's not moving forward, though. Wesley Briggs in that lane made the move to the top. He's been a bottom feeder in most of this race, and it's not worked out for him. Austin Norris, who had troubles on pit road. I believe a unsafe pit exit because he was down pit side waiting in his pit stall, so I believe that might be the issue that Austin did incur, a pit exit or pit entrance. Seeing some mistakes on the field tonight. Aaron Longworth, though, has put himself in position to not only win the race, but win this stage that's coming up here in just 13 laps. Patience, patience, patience is the game tonight from everyone in the field. A lot of patience being shown as I say that. They're about wrecking off too back here with the 50 car. Getting real squirrely. Eric Johnson starting to make his name known into the top 10. Finished 4th last week, but man, it could have been a checkered flag for the 18 if some things went his way. He was so good all night. Ended up with a wrecked race car and still finished in the top 5. But you know he wants redemption from that. He wants to go win a race. Seeing Jason Steptoe trying to make his way forward with Blake Hewlett and Chris Gaskell in the 01. It's very easy time here at Talladega. So now you're gonna trying to time your runs, trying to time who your friends are, and when do we go to the front for these stage points? Do we go to the front for the stage points? Are they worth it that much to some of us? Some of us don't need them as much as others. Some of them really need them. Playoffs are coming up. We're in the 7th race of the season. The 10th is the finale for the regular season, and the playoffs start. So every point matters if you're on a bubble line, and if you can go to victory lane tonight, if you're Daniel Jackson, Ted Gamble, Bridge, Blake Hewlett, Gaskell, those are huge results for those guys and could pole vault them into the playoffs, into the postseason. Aaron Longworth, though, as we are about to hit the halfway point in our race after we complete this lap. This Red Bull 42 machine has taken control. He's 3 wide further back. I believe that is Austin Norris, who is top of 3. Maybe trying to get one of his laps back after the issue on pit road. Seeing the 50 car, we poked out a few laps ago. And now starting to head forward again. He's up into the 6th spot, side by side with Mark Kazan, who is a lap down in 17th. Here comes the 3 car. Talk about needing stage points. Here he comes. Whoa! Tried to split it 3 wide middle to Jason Steptoe. They almost caused a crash. Daniel Jackson went up high. Almost caused another crash. Jackson with a big run. Does he go to the top side this time? Not quite. Craig Bridge Jr. getting a push from the 50 car. Now that top lane stalls. Here comes Drew Kuhn to the outside with Carson Youngblood. Aaron Longworth, does he put a block on that? I mean, this is time where you need to keep the track position. You don't know if you can get it back. As here comes the outside lane. It is formed up really tight on the top. The 16 getting a massive shove. Here comes 3 wide. Jason Steptoe to the middle. Whoa, they about wrecked. I don't know how they did it. That almost was big in front of the field. With Craig Bridge Jr. and Jason Steptoe. Contact with Blake Hewlett. And this time he's around. Craig Bridge Jr. in front of the field. Cars involved. Chris Gaskell spinning. Into the outside retaining wall. Wesley Briggs. Ah. And Craig Bridge Jr. Another week, another crash. It looks like the left rear tire is locked up. That might be day over for Craig in the 3 car. Dicing it up for the race lead, and you just saw what happens when that stuff happens. So take a look back at it. Oh, okay. To see what happened here. I'm trying to get it. Oh, well, I think we can all see what happens here. Without even starting it. Yep. 01's not giving him a lot of room, but the 3 car kind of comes down, collects him. Whoa, a lot of cars involved there. Oh, the 01. Oh, come on, Chris. Ah, he could have got away with that a lot better. It's like he gassed it up at the wrong time, and it shot to the outside wall. Hard impact for the 01. Could have been.
I just want to remind everybody, the side draft is pretty intense, and you do not have to touch the car for it to work. You can be like almost half a car length away, and it'll work.
As we see it right here. 01 car. Yeah, the 3 car comes down on him there. Man, Wesley Briggs just gets tapped, so no damage from Wesley's point of view. He keeps it off the fence. Wow. I think the 21 of David P. Sharon did get some damage there, hitting Chris Gaskell as he was spinning down. Look at Robert Tester. He gets by all this. That's okay. That's not going to hurt him at all. Just some cosmetic damage, really. As Wesley Briggs kept it off the wall, no problemo. Oh my. Some drama, and Craig Bridge Jr. out of the race car. Seems like he is out of the race. Down pit side as whoa, Robert Tester missing a pit stall under caution. Everyone looking to come down pit road to fill up their race cars, or a few cars stayed out. So a good amount of cars stayed out, it looked like, but a lot of cars coming and topping off. The 01 fixing his machine and putting some tires on it. I believe that car could come back out there and be competitive. As oh, it rolls. Well, they didn't fix it too much. It's still pretty banged up, but they do have another caution coming out here in a minute, so maybe they're going to see how this car handles, how it runs in some traffic, if it can keep it. If it keep it the pack, well, it's okay. No harm, no foul, right? Won't be the quickest car, but it will be out there, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. These guys topping off on fuel who came down pit side this time by. But Aaron Longworth, Drew Kuhn, Ted Gamble Jr., Jason Steptoe, your top 4. Top 5, Daniel Jackson in the 5th spot. I think we all kind of saw that coming. The 50 car shot at 3 wide down the front straightaway. Almost got spun by the 3 car trying to fall back in line. 3 car trying to get in lane. Didn't want to go to the back there. Wanted stage points. Trying to force it. Turns himself on the front bumper of the 01 of Chris Gaskell. And, well, that's all she wrote for him tonight. He is done, without a doubt. The 01 has some significant damage. The 21 got a piece of it. The 81 of Briggs just took a little spin. A little roundy round. But it looks like no damage from him. As we're under caution here. I believe we'll get the one to go this time by, so we'll see these cars line up 2 by 2, get ready for another restart, and as they always say, cautions breed cautions. It's their first caution of the night, over halfway in, so been a pretty clean race so far, and some pretty aggressive driving, so tip of the hat to all the drivers out there tonight so far. Been some good racing. Seeing some guys back here who were up there earlier, Stephen Blevins, Wesley Briggs, they're going to be fun to watch to go back through the field. Pace lights are off on the pace car. 1 lap to go till green. Excuse me. Aaron Longworth will lead him to that green flag. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout for the stage. Oh, how does it all go when it's all said and done? Excuse me. Do we see one of these top two get out of the race lead, or do we see Steptoe, Gamble, Jackson, or maybe even Blake Hewlett or Sharon pick up the stage win? It can get really crazy here. I think you may see another caution before this stage is all said and done and wrapped up. We may get another wreck and maybe another restart with only a 1-lap shootout if we wreck the first lap of the stage break. So Aaron Longworth, your race leader. 42 cars blinking me out here. 42 of Aaron Longworth, Drew Kuhn, Ted Gamble, Jason Steptoe, Blake Hewlett, Daniel Jackson, Dave Sharon, Eric Johnson, Joshua Siegfried, Ron Millam, your top 10. The rest on your scoring pylon of Litwiller, Rogerson, Blevins, Tester, Briggs, Lorway, Chavez. As here we go. Rounding off of corner number 4. For the second time tonight, the pace car is going to peel off here and unleash these race cars. And we're going to see green flag action again on the Speedway. Pace car's off. Longworth, Kuhn. A long way to the Geico restart zone. It's at Aaron Longworth's discretion when we go green.
Green flag.
Green. Aaron Longworth jumps. And a good jump, but Drew Kuhn clears for second. Kuhn clears for second. He'll be able to slot in on the bottom. Whoa, Steptoe really tight there. And here comes Drew Kuhn looking outside here on Aaron Longworth, wanting the race lead down the backstretch. Once and before maybe we see another yellow. Ted Gamble Jr., what is happening? No. So sorry, ladies. There's something going on with the software. What is happening? There we are, we're back. I'm not sure what that was. Some glitch in my system. And Aaron Longworth is your race leader. Where is Drew Kuhn gone? I am so sorry. The system just kind of bugged out. Aaron Longworth leads. Ted Gamble Jr. second. Daniel Jackson in third. Here comes Joshua Siegfried. We haven't talked about him in a minute. Looks like a big run here from Ted Gamble. Does he take it to the outside? He can't. Aaron Longworth up to block. Here comes Aaron Longworth. Gonna get split middle. Whoa, he threw a late block. Joshua Siegfried to the lead. Siegfried to the lead. He'll throw a block now on Ron Millam. He's climbed his way up into second. He puts it to the inside, right behind Siegfried. Now that top lane will fall back a little more with the big arrow that they just lost. A lot of dirty air now. Seeing the 12 of Drew Kuhn fall back to the 4 cars bumper trying to get a run. Here comes Aaron Longworth to the outside. Siegfried throws a block on him. Can't go anywhere. Whoa, almost contact. Look at the 4 back here trying to look 3 wide. He'll get put 3 wide by Stephen Blevins. They are getting dicey up here. Joshua Siegfried leads this race. Ron Millam in second. 2 laps to go in the stage. Everyone knows points are on the line here. Guaranteed points. No matter what happens later in the race, you get them now. 3 wide further back with the 4 and the 50. Oh my, that is so tight. All trying to get a draft off the cars in front of them. Whoa, just lift. Whoa. Wesley Briggs about got wrecked because of it. That's further back in the field, outside the top 10 in points for getting stage points. Coming off of corner number 4. We will see the white flag for stage number 1. Eric Johnson ripping the top. Here comes Longworth, top of 3. Can he get clear, though? He can't. They're going to stay 3 wide. That really hurt the top lane. Here comes Terry Litwiller and Blake Hewlett on the inside. Daniel Jackson, Ron Millam right behind Joshua Siegfried. So Terry Litwiller is going to jump to the outside lane right here. Going to try and win the stage, but it looks like the top's... Whoa, Blake Hewlett, big run on the bottom. Jackson gets shuffled out. And here comes Terry Litwiller with a big run, though, on the top, looking off of corner exit. Joshua Siegfried's a little far out in front. Blake Hewlett all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Ron Millam trying to block. Coming to the start-finish line, looking like all Joshua Siegfried. Siegfried's going to win stage number 1. I believe that was stage 1.
The yellow flag is
Yellow
out.
is out. There we go. Joshua Siegfried, your stage winner. Ron Millam in second. Terry Litwiller third. Johnson all over the place. I don't know how it was when it crossed line. Caution did not come out as soon as it crossed the start-finish line. Well, that was an eventful 5 laps as we had my computer about to explode. We had some crazy racing for the race lead and for the stage there, but a great stage win from Joshua Siegfried, who needs some stage points. Joshua Siegfried now leading this race. We're about to be 29 laps to go now in this race. With that caution coming out now, we're going to run a few more. So you come down pit road here, top off on gas, and boom. We are done for the rest of the night on needing fuel. No worries about that now. It's all just clean and green to the end. Which is good and bad, right? We'll see pit stops to spread out the field. So we'll see a tight field, but tight field means tight quarter racing, which could mean incidents, but they've raced super clean tonight. These guys have had such a good night. Some really tight racing, too. We've seen some door banging, all types of stuff, and they've raced really good and clean, so give these guys credit. They've had a really fun, entertaining race tonight. They put on a show, and, well, 19 cars are still in the lead lap here after 52 laps. Youngblood 2 down on the racetrack. You should see every race car come down pit side here. I would not see why you wouldn't unless you were guaranteed to have at least 1 or 2 overtimes good on fuel. But I feel like now you just top it off. Oh, excuse me. And here comes Joshua Siegfried from the race lead. Ron Millam will follow. Terry Litwiller, Eric Johnson, Blake Hewlett. Carson Youngblood's going to stay out to get a wave around and get one of his laps back. Jason Steptoe will pit as well. Looks like the entire field's down pit side. Watching the 47 car. Oh, we are changing tires, surprisingly. Most guys don't change tires, but why not, right? We're under caution. You're going to lose the least amount of time here. Change the tires now. Get it out of the way. Have some fresh rubber for those big hard pushes later in the race. And there, whoa. Seeing it there. Joshua Siegfried did not have the greatest of pit stops. He's going to lose a good amount of spots here. Eric Johnson, Terry Litwiller, Blake Hewlett, Stephen Blevins will leave pit road with the race lead. The Capcom number 52 Ford Mustang back up front and now the lead of the race. Probably took no tires, just fuel. Very intrigued to see how it goes. There's Jason Steptoe, some front end damage on the number 50 car. Seeing it caved in a little bit right there as he is down pit road still, probably trying to repair that front end damage. Looks like some front end damage for the 42 as well, so I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe when the computer had a little meltdown early in the race. Samuel Longworth, man, nothing can seem to go right for this man, and I feel so bad because he qualified so well tonight. Gets a penalty lap 1, or even before we got complete with lap 1, so But that's the type of stuff we can't do. We can't get penalties, can't put yourself behind the hole, and sadly for the number 7, a unfortunate and honestly innocent penalty sets him behind the 8 ball tonight, as his fellow Longworth has ran really good inside the top 5, top 10 all night tonight, and had a shot there to win the stage. I believe we will go green with 26 laps to go in the race, so man, it's going to be crunch time, it's going to be go time, and it's going to be heavy rate as Eric Johnson's bound back down pit road to tap off on gas. Pit road is closed, so he will be all the way at the back of the pack now. Some other cars, Terry Litwiller back down pit side. Mark Kazan, Frank Chavez. So anyone that's not at the front really coming back down pit road to top off on gas. So the top 11 will stay out on the racetrack to keep their track position. I don't see why you would need any more fuel, but why not do it, I guess. So we can look at how they all ran on fuel the first time. See maybe if they went to their absolute end on the fuel tank. So they went 27 laps. And then they came down pit side. Not sure if that was the longest they could go, if they could go any longer. But if it is 27 laps is the longest they can go. I think Blake Hewlett went for 52 laps. I know that is not right. And I know Stephen Blevins did not go 43, so I'm not sure why those are wrong. But the others, I think, are 100% right. And Joshua Siegfried, 27. Everyone going 27. You guys going 25. Some guys pit twice there. Oh, excuse me. Well, it's going to be interesting. With Stephen Blevins, Blake Hewlett, your front row. What a win could mean for these two drivers. Anyone in the top 5, top 7, 8 have not seen victory lane or have sniffed victory lane very much, if at all, this season. Stephen Blevins could put himself into the playoffs, into the postseason tonight if he's able to hang on for 26 more laps. That's easier said than done, though, at Talladega. It's going to be a good one, though. It's going to be a good one. Stephen Blevins, Blake Hewlett, trying to get it done. Ted Gamble Jr. continues to lurk in the top 5, top 10. He's looking so stout tonight. Ron Millam, kind of like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in real life, the 47 came to the front and came to play at the end of the stage. Maybe now at the end of the race. Stephen Blevins, though, will lead them to the Geico restart zone. It's at his discretion when we go green. Green flag on the speedway. Really stacks up the bottom. He went late into the box. Blevins holds the race lead. Blake Hewlett will fall in right behind him. Worked out really good for the 87 Ghost Machine. If I'm him right now, if I'm the top 2, we can keep it like this till the white flag or to the end of the race. If you're the 52's case, excuse me, Wesley Briggs, the first car in the outside lane, trying to make it go forward. Oh, the 4 car back here with Dave Sharon. 3 wide almost at one point. Through a block there on the 57 of Austin Norris. Youngblood now only 1 lap down. Norris still 2. Hoping for a slew of yellows and wrecked race cars to get back into contention. And we don't know. Some of these guys might be really short on fuel up front here, so they're kind of banking on some cautions. As Wesley Briggs looks to the outside of Joshua Siegfried. Blevins now has led consecutive laps here under green. If he can keep it now. A lot of banging off the apron there of those 2 cars of Siegfried and Gamble. Seen the 50 making the abrupt movement further back there for Jason Steptoe. 4 car was a little scared of him. Austin Norris giving a push to Dave Sharon. Big shove into the corner. You see from the 4 car what a run he has. Blake Hewlett continues to ride in P2 as this top lane guy of Ron Millam and Wesley Briggs are trying to go to the front. Ron Millam to the bottom, so Briggs, excuse me, is going to get shuffled out here. Lane Riggs and Wesley Briggs have too much similar names. And they're so easily similar with how they're pronounced. As you see, 3 wide further back with Austin Norris and Dave Sharon. They are very single file out. I think everyone's very tight on fuel, just trying to save. Seeing the gaps be huge right now all around the racetrack. Everyone seems to be very tight on fuel. If that's the case, the first caution could be the break for everyone. We might just see a race to the end, or we might see fuel conservation if we don't get that. And could see cars run out of gas and have a dramatic finish to this race. But man, what a storyline. There's so many storylines in the top 5, top 10 right now. It would be such a story to see these guys finish where they're running. I mean, this is some great racing tonight, and these guys up front at Talladega could punch their ticket to the postseason. Blevins, Hewlett, Siegfried, Millum, Gamble, all on the bubble or out of the playoffs, and they could be in with just tonight's race. And you have to also think, you don't also just only have to win. Only one guy is going to win tonight. You don't want to take yourself out, as here comes Gamble on the outside with the 51. Those two have worked together a lot this race. Trying to go to the front here, as Wesley Briggs on the bottom just ripping it by himself. Tester further back. He's lurking here in the top 10. Going to be a threat tonight. Whoa. It's the 42 of Aaron Longworth going a lap down. Or another lap down. Interesting. I'm not sure what happened to the 42 car. Maybe a network issue, as he has blinked a few times tonight. I'm interested to see if we can see this first caution of the night with them trying to navigate their way around that 42 car, as he's starting to blink a lot here on the racetrack. Stephen Blevins continues to lead this race. Well, one of the longest stints we've seen someone really lead. It's only a few laps, but since the pit cycle on pit road, he's led, and it's this top 5 are starting to pull away from Robert Tester in 6th, Frank Chavez, Gamble, Jackson. As Jackson looks to the inside of the 45, said, "You guys, we don't want to work with you, man, but you just weren't working out for me, and I had to do it for myself," as the 45 loses a bunch of spots because of that, and a lot of track position. This is shaping up to be one hell of a race finish tonight. Either green to the end or not, we're going to see an amazing nail-biting finish, without a doubt. The Zero Torque Racing League always puts on a nail-biter, and tonight it could be another one for the books. Down into the tri-oval, Blevins continues to lead over Hewlett. 20 laps to go here at Talladega. Starting to see the 51 start to come back to the front on the outside lane right here. Here comes Wesley Briggs to the outside, trying to go to the front. The 47 trying to side draft. Ron doesn't want to lose all this track position. He knows how hard it is to get back at the end of the stage, or at the end of the race. He saw it at the stage, so he can only imagine the end of the race when everyone's pushing for their finishing positions. Whoa, Briggs tried to squeeze it in there on the bottom. Didn't get there, thought better of it. Here comes the 51 to the outside with his Toyota teammate. Gonna put Briggs 3 wide middle. And here comes the 71 of Lorway. So Jason Steptoe, Ted Gamble Jr., they're 3 wide still, as the 57 is going to get shuffled out here. There's a lot of racing all around the racetrack, and not a lot of gating spots, but here comes Joshua Siegfried to the outside, trying to take the lead away. Millum with him, Tester with him. Blevins has led since the restart. He wants to continue doing so. Joshua Siegfried, though, won the stage. He wants to take back the race lead. Blake Hewlett with a big shove on the bottom. Blevins holds it out front. He'll lead one more. 18 laps to go. 18 circuits. That Capcom 52 out front at Talladega. This ghost car is doing a great job too. He'll pull up to the outside of him. Oh, and Joshua Siegfried around. Big wreck. Tester involved. Multiple cars. Gamble in the 50 of Jason Steptoe. They're wrecking after the wreck. Big wreck down the backstretch. Ron Millam involved. Dustin Rogerson, not sure. There's a lot of cars involved. And Robert Tester's 22. Looks like a similar issue to the 3 car. Oh my, that happened fast. Looks like a push gone wrong. Oh, and that is the tail end of it. We're going to have to take a... Yeah, we're going to see it right here. I have to watch. I believe that is... Yeah, it's Joshua Siegfried who gets turned right here. Let's watch Josh here. Off of corner exit, the 47 trying to push him. And he kind of slides up the racetrack. And the 47's already in the gas. Already there at his bumper. Can't do anything. And he spins the 85 out. He collects the 81. Over both of them back up into traffic. Gets the 47 halfway airborne. Huge crash down the backstretch. Look at all this. This chaos down the backstretch. So the 47, they're all wrecking on the top. And oh, the 85 barely avoids all of them. And we see, I believe, the 50 of Jason Steptoe. They wreck after. Yeah, he spins the 45. And we see more wrecking that wasn't necessary. And the 4 car gets tagged hard. Ted Gamble Jr. hits the outside wall. The 50 hits the outside wall. Hopefully no broken toe links. A lot of other cars. Ron Millam might be okay as long as it didn't break any toe links. Wesley Briggs took a spin. Take another look at it from Wesley. What happened with him? Yeah, Wesley Briggs here. Nothing he could do wrong. Just gets spun out. He might not be hurt too bad. Might just be some right rear quarter panel damage. And oh, and Mark Kazan hits the wall there. Trying to avoid. Looks like this 81's not hurt too bad. They continue to wreck further up. The 4 car, though, of Dave Sharon, that car looked pretty hurt. Or at least it looked like a pretty hard hit. Look at the 47's point of view here, further back. Love to get the view off the 47's bumper. I mean, he's pushing him fine through the entire corner. See Blake Hewlett pull up. That's going to stack the lane here in the 47. Oh, we're watching the car behind. We want to watch Ron here. You're going to watch it. Oh, yeah, Josh kind of slides up the racetrack, and it seemed like Josh kind of made a slight error there, and it's so tight. And it looks like something is definitely broken, the 47, as his wheel is not straight. A lot of cars wrecked, a lot of cars out of it. And Stephen Blevins, through it all, is still your race leader. But my oh my, has the field been shaken up. Mark Kazan's destroyed. Jason Steptoe in another crash. Ron Millam back out on the racetrack, so it looks like he will be able to survive. Ted Gamble Jr. trying to get repaired. Carson Youngblood, and oh, Chris Gaskell's blown an engine on pit road. Engine's blown up. Drew Kuhn repairing more damage, maybe from another previous incident, excuse me. Wow, a lot of cars, though, involved. And took out a lot of heavy players right at the front of the field. You're going to have a lot of cars crash out of races when you crash in front of so many race cars. And tonight it's no different. They wad them up off of corner number 2, and we see, I think, an 8-car pile up down the back straightaway. And we're going to go green here with at least 14 laps to go. I think I just heard an engine blow on pit road. Austin Norris, I think he might get the free pass unless he was involved in that crash. I don't believe he was, so he should only go 1 lap down. One more caution, he will be back in this race. Both Longworths now are multiple laps down. 3 for the 7, I believe 3 as well for the 42. Unfortunate for both of them. Stephen Blevins, though, continues the lead, and my oh my, the storybook ending for these two in the top 2 of Hewlett and Blevins. And right as I thought they were done working together, there's a big wreck. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm not sure why the 87's... Oh, there he goes. He's to the outside lane now. We're going to go green with 14 laps to go. They wrecked big with 18. 19 to go. The intensity's ratcheted up a little bit more. And now some big players are out. Some big guys competing for the title have made mistakes tonight. Have crashed. They've not been consistent. This is someone deeper in the standings race. But who is it going to be? Look at the top 8. None have gone to victory lane. Both the Sharons, Litwiller, Jackson, Lorway, Chavez, Blevins, and Hewlett all on the bubble. Or outside of it. Not in contention at all. But this could be the race that someone puts all the worry of making the postseason off their mind. They punch their ticket. They're in. And Stephen Blevins and Blake Hewlett are right now in the best position. I think Stephen Blevins is in a great spot. He did such a good job just being patient, not moving lanes and pulling blocks, just riding out on his lane. Now, it might have started to go bad just staying in that lane, but it worked out for him so far. He's led since he came off pit road with the race lead. And he's kept the track position. So has Blake Hewlett. A new crop of faces up there. Do we see these new crop of faces battle it out even harder than earlier in the race with our other guys? We're going to have to see. Pace car is going to pull off and give the control to the 52 car. We are going racing with 14 laps to go in this race. The intensity is sky high. Frank Chavez behind him. Blake Hewlett on his outside. Green flag in the air. We're racing at Talladega. And a great launch from the bottom lane. Blake Hewlett does not clear Frank Chavez. Or Daniel Jackson. So Blake Hewlett's going to have to make the outside lane work. Never mind. Jeff Lorway bails on him. So does the 21. Blevins leads down the back straightaway. Sharon and Litwiller on the outside, but now the 4 car, he'll dip to the bottom, or he tried to back there. Only side-by-side racing on the racetrack are those 3 cars on the outside. If you're everyone in the top like 5 right now, you're in a great spot. You don't want to make the move. Never mind, Blake Hewlett wants to make the move. He's back to the outside of the 21, trying to go back forward. That seems like the outside lane's finally formed up, but man, that took a minute. Whoa, and Terry Litwiller to the outside of Blake Hewlett. That's going to hurt the outside lane. Sharon to the middle, 3 wide. The 42 to the outside, 3 wide. We're going to see 3 lanes of racing back here. And then as Blevins continues to lead, they're chaos further back. Whoa, it's tight and dicey back here. Here comes Kuhn to the middle, 3 wide. We're trying to force it on the 4 car. He will. Middle of 3. But man, they're just stalling their lane so bad doing all this. Blake Hewlett's like, come on, guys. We got to try and fight the bottom. Yeah, but look who's coming up there. Rogerson, Johnson. They both pull up at the same time. Those 2 are going to work together without a doubt. Racing's getting intense up here. This top lane's really tight right now with Blake Hewlett giving a shove to the 18. They're all pushing every car in line. That is a dangerous game to play. Whoa, the 23 is about spinning every corner, every second of the lap. Down the backstretch, though, massive run for the 23. Blevins leads down the backstretch. Does anyone poke out to take the run from Rogerson? Now the Rogerson run has died out. 71 thought about it. He really did. Daniel Jackson's been a bottom feeder a lot of this race, has worked with these guys. But right now, if he jumps to the top, he can taste the race lead. Coming to 11 laps to go on the Speedway. This bottom 4 and the top 4 are really doing a great job. Jeff Lorway looks to be unloyal. Oh, here comes the 51. He looked outside for a second. That slowed them up. Here comes the 23 of Rogerson. Massive run on the top. He's going to side draft the 51, stall him out even more. The 13, will he jump up in the Frank Chavez? Blevins on the bottom. Needs a good run here. Needs a good shove. Stephen Blevins, Dustin Rogerson, side by side, entering turns 3 and 4. Blevin with the advantage now. Blevins, excuse me. Chavez getting a good run. They need to push hard, though. This top lane's pushing so hard. They stack it up, though. Stephen Blevins continues to lead, coming to the start-finish line. Man, this could be it for Stephen Blevins if it keeps staying like this. The 13 of Frank Chavez giving such good pushes. And the 23 and the 18 are going to work together there. Frenton's off the racetrack. They are going to work together. Can Dustin Rogerson win this race? Or can Blevins fend him off? They're still side by side. The 23 couldn't clear. Yeah, but the 52 has no help right now. The 13's way on back. Really side drafting the top lane is Stephen Blevins. Momentum coming back to the 52 car. He'll have the shorter distance around the racetrack. But man, they need to push harder on the bottom. Dustin Rogerson to the lead. And if Eric Johnson clears, they have taken control. They just did. Took control of the race right there. That's not what you want to see. Crashing further back. Ron Millam's involved. Hard into the outside wall, it looks like, for Ron. Heard it on my radio. Or on the further back there. Oh, wow. Seems like a big stack of the 50 kind of offset to the 4 car. Spins him into the outside wall onto the 47. Ooh. That might be day over for Ron. Such a good car tonight. Got caught up in the last crash and ends up in another one. Dave Sharon involved as well. The 50 of Jason Steptoe in another wreck tonight. Not been his night. Offset on him. Big stack up. Came up fast and right row hooked him into the outside field. Not important. It's just a product of Super Speedway Racing, and now, right as all that happens, Eric Johnson and Dustin Rogerson just took the race lead off of Blevins and Chavez. I think that's good, though. It's going to separate these two guys with 8 to go, and they're not going to be in the same row. Someone's going to get screwed here one way or the other, so it's going to be interesting to see how both, if Blevins gets a good launch in the bottom and the bottom launches, I don't think you'll see these two able to work together again for at least for a lap or two. So it's going to give Blevins, Chavez, Hewlett, Jackson, Drew Kuhn the opportunity to make sure these two don't work together. A harmless crash of just 2 cars, or 3 cars involved, 2 with major damage. Ron Millam in the 4 of Dave Sharon. See Dave Sharon on the racetrack. He's going to pull down pit road here, try to fix up this car as best he can. Just needs to stay in the draft and be decently competitive here at Talladega at the end of these races. Austin Norris going to get one of those laps back, though. He said he just needs, I think, one more, and he'll be back on the lead lap. So Austin Norris is all about the yellows. Keep them coming, says the 57. He might get one more yellow tonight, and we do have 3 overtime attempts. So, well, I'm sure we can get him to a victory lane still. Austin can still win this race. Hope it doesn't get to the point where it gets that bad, but it is Talladega after all, and there's some desperate things that happen at Dega, and Super Speedway Racing is a tad bit chaotic at the end of these things. Mark Kazan down pit road again. Ted Gamble Jr. down pit road. Wesley Briggs down pit road. Repairing damage. Maybe putting some tires on it. Why not? Already at the back of the field. Dustin Rogerson leading the race around this. And this is the first laps he's led all night. He took the race lead from Blevins there with a few laps, or a lap before the caution came out for Ron Millam in the 4 of Sharon. And these are the first laps the 23's really been up front all night, let alone leading. So hung in the back most of the night in the Pinnacle Wraps number 23 car 0X team. I mean, it has been a quiet night for Dustin. And now up front late, I mean, we saw really this team hasn't really dominated this race tonight. we've not really seen them lead the laps that we're accustomed to. It's been other guys up here and kind of controlling the pace. We saw Siegfried did win the stage, but aside from that, they really haven't been up here. I mean, we haven't seen Tester tonight, and now Tester's out of the race, crashed. Was running in the top 5 there, though, was Robert, to be fair. Carson Youngblood's had issues. Has fought his way from multiple laps down to be in the top 10 now with all these cautions. Rogerson and Johnson up here. It's going to be an interesting one without a doubt, and I really want to see the Cinderella stories, obviously. Some guys who haven't had the seasons they've looked for, or maybe are just in the back in points, or haven't had the luck, right? Or the execution. And Stephen Blevins and Frank Chavez, Blake Hewlett, Daniel Jackson, these 4 cars are on the bubble, like I've said all night, or are way out of the playoffs. And this could be the opportunity to pick up that checkered flag and not have to worry about it. The last time, we'll mention that. 6 to go at the line. Pace lights are off. We will have another 5-lap dash to the finish, just like at the end of stage number 1. 5 laps to determine the race winner here tonight in the Zero Torque Racing League at Talladega. Who gets the checkered flag? Will it be Rogerson? Will it be Eric Johnson, Frank Chavez, Stephen Blevins, Blake Hewlett, Daniel Jackson, Drew Kuhn, Jeff Lorway in 8th. 9th is Carson Youngblood. Don't count him out in that Me 16 machine. Joshua Siegfried, perhaps. David P. Sharon, Terry Litwiller. Or Wesley Briggs, or someone else. One of your favorite drivers. It's anyone's race still. 5 laps, that's plenty of time to come back through the field with how little cars are left in this race. We started 24 race cars tonight. I think we're down to 16 on the lead lap, 17 or 16 on the lead lap. We've lost a good amount. Some of them being big names: Tester, Gaskell, Bridge, Longworth are multiple laps down. Austin Norris is a single lap down. He is hoping for a caution. So if I'm Austin Norris, I'm hanging in the back off the pace because it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Or him. Oh my. Time to get excited. Get on your feet. Cheer on your favorite driver if they've not crashed out. It's going to be a good one tonight. A great finish is bound to happen at Talladega. It always is. We saw a good battle to the line at the end of the stage. Joshua Siegfried picked that up. He got spun off of corner number 2, caused the first big wreck of the night. We've seen a few wrecks since. And now, Rogerson will lead the field as the pace car pulls off down the pit lane. Blevins, Johnson, Chavez. Who is going to win tonight? Waiting for the Geico restart zone to appear.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. The outside lane stacks it hard. They're trying to work together there. And if you're Stephen Blevins, you gotta side draft that. Cannot let them work together. Ooh, big side draft from the 52. Really gonna stall the 18 here. Here comes the run from Blevins. He's there to the inside. I get working together, but you can't give up the race lead. Big run on the bottom. Stephen Blevins and Blake Hewlett back out front at Talladega. Johnson and Rogerson, though, keep it there on the outside. But Blevins is clear. He's clear on the outside. Blake Hewlett's almost clear. Coming to 4 to go at the line. It's all push. It's all push right now. But you can't overheat the car. There's still 4 more laps of racing. And these top 2 don't have really any help aside from Chavez. A lot more orderly on the bottom here than on the top. And Rogerson and Johnson are pushing hard to stay up there with them. Drew Kuhn on the bottom, another good race car and a good pusher tonight. He is going to help this bottom lane stay forward. Big loose moment down the backstretch. That's going to stack up the top. And if you're a Blake Hewlett, you stay committed till the white flag to Stephen Blevins to put yourself in a good spot. Don't want to get shuffled 3 wide now. Whoa, a big shove from Drew Kuhn into the back bumper of the second place car. Stephen Blevins down into the tri-oval. 3 to go, this time by The top lane's getting antsy. They're not seeing results. They want them. Big run off into turns 1 and 2, but now they're going to drizzle out here. They're starting to fall back here. This bottom lane's working real good. Here comes Youngblood, and here comes Kuhn. Siegfried all in the top lane. Blake Hewlett's going to pull a block. That's good. Rogerson to the bottom. It really hurt that outside lane pull. Wesley Briggs to third. Siegfried to the bottom. And now Kuhn and Youngblood sliding back. I think there's cars spinning on the racetrack. I heard a tire squealing, but we have no caution. White flag. No, 2 laps to go. Caution is out. I'm not sure for what, though. I'm not quite sure why we have a caution with 2 to go. I know I did hear tires squealing. Oh, I think we might have the reason. Right here. We're going to see it right here. Whoa! What happened there? Oh my. Something broke? What just happened? That is insane. Get an onboard shot. Whoa. I mean, I don't know what happened. I'm wondering, was there someone glitching? And I need a slow motion here. It looks like something in the rear just brakes on him. Oh, there's the 4 car. Did his own brother spin him out? Oh, I think that might be what happened. Dave Sharon blinked out. I believe he's behind the 21 right here. He is. Yeah. A blinkage issue caused that caution. No fault of anyone. I heard tires squealing. I was very confused. Stephen Blevins is leading this race. Didn't probably want to see the caution. Didn't want the more fuel to burn. I think he is good on fuel. Joshua Siegfried is not. He'll pull down pit side from the top 5. Seeing Blake Hewlett on the apron trying to save gas. Do we see the 1 to go this time? We do not. Mark Kazan down pit road again. He has a lot of damage. He is missing a fender. Hard to see missing fenders on these cars. Jason Steptoe. They've just missed his pit stall by a little bit. Not the night Steptoe would want. For sure. Unfortunate for the 4 car and both the Sharons. I mean, that was nothing intentional. Just a blinkage from the 4. And I mean, it looked like something broke on the replay. The car just dots to the right side of the racetrack. And an unfortunate end for the 21 car, who was still up there on the lead lap, fighting for positions. And we're going to see a caution now. Right as the race was getting really antsy up front. And Stephen Blevins, man, he is now officially definitely led the most laps tonight. This guy has put himself in position so many times. Blake Hewlett as well. Let's talk about Blake Hewlett. Because he's not been in the race lead. He's not stayed in the same lane the entire time. He has moved around. And this 87 continues to fight to the front. Excuse me. And he is up here in P2 trying to get a checkered flag. Wesley Briggs involved in some incidents. Not of his own doing, just getting spun out. He's been up here all night, though, and back to the front. He's found his way up into P3 in the late portion of this race. And Dustin Rogerson what could have been on the last restart. Started in the race lead, trying to have teammate of Eric Johnson teamwork, and it didn't work out for him. He still slots in fourth, but it's going to be an uphill battle. Drew Kuhn in fifth. He gained, I believe, at least a row from where he started in the last restart. I believe he started seventh. Terry Litwiller with a good amount of damage in that 69, but he's up to sixth. Fought his way from further back there. Carson Youngblood in seventh. Frank Chavez in eighth. He was in third, I believe, or fourth. Or I think he was in fourth, actually. That last restart. So he lost a good amount of ground. Daniel Jackson in ninth. Eric Johnson in 10th. He was second the last restart around. Ted Gamble Jr. just trying to get back to the front. Jeff Lorway, Dave Sherritt, Joshua Siegfried, Mark Kazin coming off pit road. I believe Kazin is on the lead lap. As lights are off on the pace car. Overtime here at Talladega. Cautions breed cautions. We hope this is the last and only overtime tonight. One and done, as they say. Blevins, Hewlett, Briggs, and Rogerson. What a race we have seen tonight. The underdogs up front. Blevins has dominated this race since taking the race lead. He's been up front before that. And these guys, they haven't had the seasons they've wanted. And tonight, they're riding their own season. Tonight is redemption night. This is their story. Now, can they finish it and write a pretty little bow on the story with a checkered flag and a playoff berth? We're going to have to see tonight. Will the fuel hold up for these guys? We've seen some cautions before that might help them, but it's still got to be mighty thin. Definitely no more cautions for the guys up front. All right. Blevins, Hewlett, Briggs, Johnson, or Rogerson, excuse me. Litwiller, Kuhn, Youngblood, Chavez. Your first four rows. Who is going to win tonight? Any of them or someone else? Pace car's off. It's at the discretion of Stephen Blevins. When will he go? In the Geico restart zone. Needs a bad restart for the outside lane. That will help him out. Green flag flies. A good start for Blevins. Not the good start for the inside lane he wanted. And look at Rogerson. He's going to play a smart move here. He had a good launch. Could have pushed the 87. He's going to push Stephen Blevins way out in front. Maybe a little too far. Look at Blake Hewlett, though. He's going to hold up the bottom lane a little bit. Does Wesley Briggs go to the race lead now? He does. He's going to get shuffled out. Stephen Blevins is going to hold the bottom in front of Dustin Rogerson. I thought it was a little too early. The Rogerson car was going to shuffle him out if he could. Through turns 3 and 4, looking to get to the white flag without incident. Rogerson in second. Kuhn, as they're wrecking further back with Frank Chavez. No caution. They will see the white flag. White flag flies. Blevin leads it. Rogerson in tow. Who gets it? Stephen Blevins trying to do it. The impossible at Talladega. They're jockeying for position further back. Rogerson trying to build a run down the back straightaway. Kuhn looks outside. Siegfried with a big run. Oh my, this might be Stephen Blevins' race off of quarter number 4. Big shoves from everyone. Coming to the start-finish line. Dustin Rogerson might have stolen it. He might have snatched it. I don't know. It says on the scoring pylon, Dustin Rogerson just won this race. He might have snatched it from Stephen Blevins. Oh, the heartbreak. The heartbreak for Stephen Blevins. He let the 16 get to the inside. It may have slowed him down just enough, and it did. Dustin Rogerson wins at Talladega. Oh my God, he had it. Had it wrapped up in a pretty bow. And let's look at this. Does 16 go below the yellow? No, he does not. Oh, yes, he does. Oh, no, he doesn't. Now, the 52 should have blocked a little bit more, and he most likely would have won that race. Unfortunate. And Dustin Rogerson wins this race. Can you believe it? Heartbreak for Stephen Blevins. I feel for him. Led so many laps tonight. Was in position, made the right move, and just a few hundred feet before the finish line, he ends up just a little short. What a race tonight from everyone on the Speedway. Carson Youngblood somehow third. Wow. We got to talk to these guys. What a finish. Heartbreaking for some. Oh my. What a fun finish. That is so unfortunate to see that at the end of that race. What a race though. You gotta say it. What a finish. What a run to the race finish there. And look at the back of the field. They are going all out. Coming to the checkered flag. They're 4 wide, wrecking everywhere. And right there, look at it. So far ahead, and the side draft in the 16 slowed them up so much. You'll be thinking about that one for a minute. Wow. What a finish. We got to get these guys up in the booth to talk to all of the top 3 finishers, all under a blanket coming to the line. Carson Youngblood, you're up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, bud? How are you doing, my man? Talk about your night tonight. What a night it was. Mm. Yeah, for me personally, I think the weather has hit something for me because I had a big issue with my computer midway through this race, and I hope everything is still good on the audio side and everything. But yeah, unfortunate. Oh, well, those issues might still be there. Let me try and get that fixed. So sorry. Was working fine. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Mid portion of the race, my screen like froze and said OBS has failed. And I'm like, what does that mean? I did not know. Yeah, it seems like my desktop is not picking up. Why are there 2 desktops? What? Hmm. I'm not quite sure what is happening. Hmm. I'm not quite sure. That is really weird. What is happening? Having some issues. I don't know why it's not doing that.
You don't have us both muted, do you?
Oh, I think I got it. Speak again?
Hello, you got me? Check,
I
check, check.
I think I do. I'm not sure why it wasn't working. I'll see if Robbie can come back in here real quick if he can hear me. If he can hear him on the broadcast, Robbie. I think you're good because when you talked, it said there was sound. Hopefully, Robbie can hear it. All right.
You got it fixed. There you go.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I'm not sure
All
what
right,
that was.
10-4. Let's
Yeah,
go.
it must have been when my computer had its little meltdown middle of the race. But back to you, Carson. Yeah, I saw that you were 2 laps down. You were up there slicing and dicing early, so I was kind of confused. So talk me through the whole process of coming from multiple laps down to almost pick up a checkered flag tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely crazy. I gotta give a big shout out to some of my teammates pushing me up there when they could have went by me and they were pushing me to keep me up in the front so I could get some of my laps back. But it was crazy. I thought when all my screens just went black and I was like, well, hopefully I didn't cause a caution. It was my first thought, big pile up. But then I got everything loaded back up and I was only 2 laps down, so I was like, okay, well maybe I can play some strategy and make some things happen. But yeah, without the help from my teammates, I probably would have been able to get my laps back. But yeah, that was a crazy. The last couple laps, it was just how the super speedways go. It's just hold
Oh,
your
for
foot down
sure.
and hope you get to the finish. But I'll take a third place. It shouldn't be too bad of a point stay for us to keep the regular season points lead and head
Oh,
towards the playoffs.
well, without a doubt, it won't be a good point. It will be a good point stay for you. Excuse me. You're in the points lead, and Rogerson and Blevins are the only 2 cars that beat you tonight. So I think you'll be well within your bounds to say a successful super speedway race from the points leader tonight, Carson Youngblood. Yeah, you were fighting hard there in the middle portion of that race to stay on the lead lap, or not on the lead lap, but to gain 1 or 2 of your laps back. How many laps down were you tonight? For my scoring pylon, it said 2 or 3. Was that the maximum tonight for you?
Yeah, so when I came off of pit road, I got everything back turned on and powered up. I came off of pit road 2 laps down. Then the draft caught up to me. I lost a lap. Then I had to drive back up through that field and then I was 2 laps down whenever the caution came out. So then, yeah, so I was 3 laps down. This was the farthest down I was
Wow,
tonight.
what a comeback! I mean, what a great comeback from yourself. Talk me through that final restart there. I know you had a lot of your teammates up and around the top 5, top 10 there. Was there any teammate communications there? If you guys could work together, I know you snuck it to the inside of Steven there, coming to the line, and I thought Steven had it made, but that little side draft you did to him kind of gave the win to Dustin there at the end.
Yeah, I was trying to get being selfish and trying to get the win for myself right there. I was trying to you got to go for it and you got to try. So, but no, I'm glad Dustin ended up one of our teammates got it. But that last restart, we tried to all get up to the top line and we all kind of got spread out and before the caution came out and then ended up falling back from like 4th to 8th on for that final restart. So I might have been able to bin on that front row if that didn't happen, but I'll take a third place. I'm happy with it.
Without a doubt, third place tonight for Carson Youngblood. Everyone, anyone you'd like to thank, man, before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank, of course, all my teammates out there, especially at these super speedways. You got to have some good pushers and good teammates out there. Special shout out to Drew Kuhn. We were working together a bunch tonight, and he helped me get my laps back. So him, all the Zero X guys, Taylor Construction, Youngblood Racing, the Dickerson Group, Southern Premier Contractors, Compass, my family, everyone who helps me with my Legends car, and I got to thank the Lord for another day and giving me the opportunity to do this.
Without a doubt, man. And you have a great night, man. And your third place finisher, ladies and gentlemen, Carson Youngblood. Have a good night, bud.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Let's get Stephen Blevins in here, and let's talk about that. Let's talk about tonight's finish with Stephen here. Stephen, you're up in the booth. Do you got a copy, bud?
Yeah, man, got you.
So, man, talk me through your heartbreaking end of this race. I was talking you up all night tonight, since really the stage break. But you were having a great night before the stage break. You led so many laps at the end of this race. You were up front. It seemed like you could just lead the lane on the bottom or even on the top really well tonight. Talk me through that final restart and what more you could have done to pick up a checkered flag tonight.
Well, one, I didn't want to see the green white checker to start with, but I said once we got there, I thought I was good. I was holding it out there, but I saw him dropping back. Nothing I could really do there. Went to side draft him, and then my teammate, the Sky Motorsports Jackson, behind this, gave Youngblood that shot, and I came back down to block him just so I could get the push, and thought I was going to get him, but just that hundredth or thousandths too short. So
I believe a
I was pumping
thousand.
though.
I believe a thousand short at the line for you, Steven. You had it up until 300 feet coming to the line, and in the last 2 feet, I believe you lost the race lead, sadly. But all in all, some great execution from you tonight. I mean, you were up front early in the race, but you were up front late, and you stayed up front. We saw a lot of jockeying throughout the field. I know Blake Hewlett was up there with you working together, but was your strategy tonight to just kind of ride the first stage, then kind of be there and be the guy to beat in the second?
Well, I just kind of rebuilt everything today, so I didn't really want to be up front and have an issue and take out the field. And then with the caution right before the stage, set me up with fuel and tires. So everybody else took fuel and tires at that stage break, so it put me right back up front, and I was able to just stay there.
I saw you come out with the race lead. I'm like, that's a great pit stop from the 52 car, and then you held it there. It wasn't just a great pit stop. You, the driver, held your track position from a good pit call. Tell me tonight, what all went into working and preparing for this race?
And unfortunately, it was a last-minute call just to jump in here. I like super speedways. I run them all the time. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like this heart-pounding close finishes where everybody's pushing and we all keep it together. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. I was excited, man. It was a good time.
Without a doubt, it was a good time, and I was cheering you on to get a checkered flag over the guys who kind of win a bit more. But man, so close tonight. Anyone else you'd like to thank before we let you go tonight, Steven, from such a great run tonight for yourself and your whole team?
No, man, just appreciate the team, man. We all been working together pretty good, Sky Motorsports, and man, that's it, man. Appreciate you guys for putting on the stream and the lobbies.
Well, thank you, Steven. You have a great night, man. God bless.
Yeah, man, you too. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, everyone, let's get Dustin Rogerson, our race winner, in here tonight. Let's see if we can get him in. Your second place finisher, Stephen Blevins, heartbreakingly close for second. Let's get Dustin into the booth here. Dustin, do you got a copy, brother?
Woo, yeah, boy.
How are you doing tonight, my man? You come home with a checkered flag, and oh my, what a dramatic way to do it.
I am trying to get the heart rate lowered. It's still thumping over here. Man, first I want to give a shout out to Steven over there, man. He did a phenomenal job holding that bottom line and making it tough on us. And, we seem to find 0X out front a lot here. I really want to see one of these other teams get up here in victory lane because I know how discouraging it can be to stay in a league when the same guys are winning over and over and over. So I really want to see one of these other guys get up here and get the flag too. So.
I mean, only 1,000th off yourself and just a tiny side draft from your teammate, Carson Youngblood's what kind of kicked it over the edge for you winning tonight, as it seemed he had it made off of corner number 4, and then you coming back 300, 400 feet from the line, you take the checkered flag away from him. Tell me, what was the game plan tonight from you and the whole 0X guys tonight?
Well, starting out, we knew it could, these super speedway races, they're kind of a crapshoot, right? So the big thing is you can't win if you can't finish. So
I mean, that is 100% right. Can't win if you can't finish. And I see, a lot of your team kind of dominate these races tonight. Was that not the approach? Because Robbie, I didn't really see you guys come out and kind of lead this race, and really until the end. Was Was the plan kind of just ride around? Dustin? Cannot hear you, brother, if you're talking. Not sure what's happening, folks. Well, there's a lot of issues tonight since the computer decided to have its own little meltdown. And we cannot hear Dustin Rogerson. I can't even hear him. Dustin? I can still not hear you. Not even on Discord. Hello? What is going on? Robbie? I can't hear either of you. I believe my internet might have just crashed. Well, I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what is going on tonight. Ever since that a little blip in the middle of the race, the computer has not worked and all the OBS has been broken. And now, excuse me. Now it seems my Discord is broken. I am not sure. Dustin, yeah, now it's saying I have no router.
Let's see.
Oh, I hear you now. I hear you now.
Okay, there it is.
There we go. I think it's my Wi-Fi. I think there's a storm kind of in here, so let's do this. I forget where we were at.
Well, I'll just say, like, going to the green white checkered, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Drew Kuhn and Eric Johnson, man. Without their help, this wouldn't have been possible. And Drew keeps my car looking good with Pinnacle Wraps. Follow him on Facebook, Pinnacle Wraps. And yeah, man, get yourself a scheme made today, man. This is a new one I'm rocking today and able to put it out front. When you run a Pinnacle, you drive distinction. Shout out to Taylor Construction, all my Zero X teammates, man. There's a bunch of us. Shout out to Ron Millam too, man. He did a great job tonight, and all the other drivers for keeping it mostly clean.
Without a doubt, a really fun race tonight and a really good one. So sorry for the audio issues. It's just the storm is kicking my butt and my computer's butt. But happy to see you in victory lane, Dustin. You are a really great guy, and we'd love to see you do well tonight, man. You have a great night, man.
Thanks, Gage. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the broadcast, bro.
Thank you, man. Have a good night, man.
I'll see ya.
See ya.
You too.
All right, everyone. That is your race. That is your race. Oh, not your race. This is your finishers. Dustin Rogerson with the checkered flag. Carson Youngblood in third. Stephen Blevins in second. Drew Kuhn, Joshua Siegfried, your top five finishers. Daniel Jackson, Eric Johnson, Jason Steptoe. Ted Gamble Jr. comes out of this race with a ninth place finish, a top 10. He was up front a lot, but he got crashed. Just didn't seem like he had the car to drive back through the field. And Wesley Briggs, your top 10. So sorry for the audio issues tonight. I just do not know what was happening there at the end of this. It was just seeming like something just broke midway through the race, and apparently I'm not sure if even the game capture was on, so I'm not sure you guys could even hear the cars at the end there. now that I think about it. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope you liked the stream. So sorry for the issues tonight. It just seemed like the storm was not cooperating. Thank you, though, all. Subscribe, like, and come in next week, next Friday night at 7 o'clock to watch the Zero Torque Racing League race again. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night, and God bless.